back to Hi Guys, it's your boy BDR and I'm back with another Icky Roads video. Now for this video we're going to be doing an overview of Psionic Mindbreaker. Hey, you're wondering, what is a Psionic Mindbreaker? Well, it's basically the evolved version of the Mindbreaker class that came out around 2012. Basically it. And we're just going to do an overview on it. Now, how to obtain, Psionic Mindbreakers that you want to go to your Book of Lore, click on other badges, click on Mindbreaker, and then you do have to spend 12 KACs, which is a 12 KAC package is $40, like roughly $40. So yeah, here's what you get, I mean, two classes for $40. That sounds like a nice deal, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's basically how you could that's the only way you could obtain, Mindbreaker and Psionic Mindbreaker. Now, let's go over the skills of the class. Psionic Mindbreakers regenerate mana from the psionic flow around them. Here's the auto attack, Psychic Assault, 3-second cooldown, physical. Assail two opponents with your mental attacks, decreasing their crit chance by 25% for 4 seconds. Mental Flare, 8 mana, 3-second cooldown, long range, 2 targets. You gain a stack of concentration, increasing your magical damage dealt by 30%, stacking to 6, and lasting 4 seconds. Then you have your Scion Drain, an infinite range attack. Opening your mind, recovering 35 mana, and reducing your mana cost by 10%. For 10 seconds, stacking to 4. If you do so, you're also going to take damage as well. We have the Cerebral Siphon, 20 mana, 6-second cooldown, long range attack, 1 target. Basically, taking their life force and also reducing their defense by 40% for 15 seconds. Cannot be avoided, but also can't crit. Here are the rank 4 passives. And here's the rank 5. This is basically your nuke. Detonate scions under your control, dealing heavy damage to opponents. And here's your rank 10 passive, Extrasensory Perception. Your ability to read the flow of combat gives you 15% crit chance, rarely your ability to read the psionic flow and give you clairvoyant visions, vastly increasing your combat capabilities for a few seconds. So yeah, guys, this class, so far it sounds like, it can attack multiple targets. It has a nuke. I mean, kind of like, similar to Necromancer with the Scion Drain. It's like, losing health for get more mana. Just reminds me of Necromancer. And, yeah, let's go over the combos and enhancements. Alright, so for your enhancements, I have Ravenous. You can also try Valiant, and if you don't have access to Forge, you can, try All Blast. What Ravenous does is like the less HP your opponent has, the more damage that you're going to do. Wizard, because his class is caster, and look at the difference between spell power and attack power. Vainglory for extra damage, and Pneuma for that extra 10% hit chance with intellect. Now we are obviously rocking a 75% weapon to undead. Now then, for your combo, here's what you're gonna want to do. You're gonna want to stack 3 3 times. Sorry, 4 times, my bad. 4 times, and then you want to do 2, 4, 2, 5. And use 3 if you need mana. Now this class in terms of soloing is quite good. Not gonna lie, obviously, minusing the mana issues and whatnot, this class can actually, perform well as a late game soloer, due to the concentration, Ravenous, providing that extra damage, as we said before. Now we do have to keep our mana and health in mind. Oh, damn, a 60k nuke. Obviously right here, the damage debuffs that we're applying and whatnot. Oh, 68k. That's just like, this is pretty damn good. 56k. We gotta watch out for our mana. Really gotta watch out, and yeah. Let's see, in a minute 20, it was able to do 695,000 damage. So yeah, overall, in terms of soloing, Psionic Mindbreaker, it can actually work as a soloer. So mainly due to its large nuke. Now, I mean, I guess the issue is like you do have to stack, 3, 4 times, and then, take a rest. But overall, like in terms of soloing, Psionic Mindbreaker is a pretty good class when it comes to soloing, especially if you don't have any of the top tier soloers. So yeah, that's about it for soloing. Now let's look at Psionic Mindbreaker when it comes to farming. Alright guys, so Psionic Mindbreaker when it comes to farming is just that it does have a couple skills that can do damage to multiple targets. But do keep in mind you do have to like watch your HP, especially if you're wearing like forge enhancements. It's like you really have to be mindful of your HP, you really have to like, be careful of picking, 3 and 4. Otherwise it's like, especially against hard enough mobs, as you can see here in, Stream War, not being mindful of your mana could really like cost you in many ways. If you're fighting like lower tier, farming mobs, this class can actually perform quite well in those situations. But, hard enough mobs, that hit hard, the 5-star mobs, Revenant and whatnot, like they could really give this class some trouble. I mean, so yeah, that's basically, been it for, Psionic Mindbreaker when it comes to farming. Now let's look at it in terms of survivability. So yeah, Psionic Mindbreaker when it comes to survivability, it doesn't have the best survivability. As you can see right here, we're just, barely holding on right here. And yeah, at times you can get lucky and whatnot, with a group, this class can definitely do damage, but, hard enough bosses can, give it trouble and can basically one-shot, two-shot it. Plus, you have to keep in mind with, 3 and 4 and watch out for your mana as well. So that's pretty much what I have in terms of survivability. Now, let's go over to support and final thoughts. Alright, guys, so in terms of support, I mean, its auto attack can, decrease the enemy's, crit chance by 25%, and the Cerebral Siphon can reduce their defense by 40% for 15 seconds. That's kind of what it could offer in terms of support. Now, for the pros and cons. Pros. This class can be, a good DPS soloer. You know, it's a good soloer, great DPS, and at times, as long as you're not fighting like super hard-hitting mobs, this class could be like a decent farmer. Now, for the cons. The cons of the class are, 3 could literally be your downfall at times. It doesn't have the, it could get one shot, two shotted by, hard enough mobs. And it's pricey. It costs $40. So, you know, pricey, there are people that are like, I won't spend a dime on this game, completely free to play and whatnot. Now, that's pretty much been it for the cons. My final verdict. Psionic Mindbreaker is a good soloing DPS class. I would recommend getting this class because it is a bonus. As spending $40, you get your 12k ACs plus with the bonus, plus with bonuses going on, you get like 18k instead. It's a good bargain, for $40. That's pretty much been it for the Psionic Mindbreaker overview. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and yeah, hi guys, out.